Okay, so this is gonna be a demonstration on how to use the gradient tool for your logo designs that you made. So at this point now, you should have put the shapes for each of your logos. Or if you didn't do like the shapes like I mentioned it earlier before, that's totally fine. So me may have just done like an outline of the entire drawing, which is fine either way. It's just if you did it like with shapes like this will save you an extra step of having to color these things in. So just real important though if you didn't set up like this where I was telling you guys originally to um, do you make every part a shape? I mean, they could also be an outline too, but you want to make sure every part's a shape. I feel like this looks more like a logo as opposed to the other way, but it's fine either way. It's fine though. But after you're done with drawing the logo or using the shapes, if you went this route with just like doing the outline first, you're gonna have to lock the logo layer, and you got to create a new layer in between the logo and the sketches, and you can just tell this color. And again, this is if you did it this way, but you're gonna have to incorporate those colors for the logo. So you would just trace those shapes again. So you just have to retrace those shapes again. Just make sure you take your time. Make sure it's between the black lines that you made. And if you arrange the layers the correct way, though, the black line should still stay there, and the colors will go behind it. But you just want to take your time, just make sure to trace each of those shapes. So you have that color there, and I'm just gonna eyedrop this brown here. So this eyedropper tool, which is the hotkey is I, or you can click on the toolbar. It's gonna allow you to just like quickly select all the colors. We're gonna use that a little bit later when we work on using the gradients. But basically I'm just tracing these colors again. But you get the idea though. You would just have to recolor all those shapes again. But if you did it the other way though, where you just made the shapes though, this actually saved. This actually did save the step of having to recolor everything again. Oops, it's a little bit longer. All right. I'm just gonna do this cheese. I'll be done with this part. So I dropped this yellow, and I'm just gonna color this cheese. And then I explain the gradient tool. Okay, so now you have like your three logos that are on here. I actually deleted my sketches, or my sketches are on here somewhere. But eventually after you're done with like your initial drawing or if you did the shapes like I showed you here, you don't really need this layer anymore. But you can just keep it around just to have it around, just to compare it with everything else. I just like click on the eyeball just to hide it. But yeah, at this point now though, in order to use the gradient tools the proper way, we're actually going to have to copy and paste all of these designs that we've done for your logo. You'll probably either have like shapes, a drawing with the parts colored in, or yeah, I just made that one for fun. But just real important though, just make sure to unlock those layers. You have to lock them to do your coloring, and all you're gonna do is you're just gonna highlight the entire color or entire logo. I'm actually gonna select both of these. And you're gonna press Command C, as in cat. Hold Command, press C to copy it, and then we're gonna open up a file new, and we're gonna open up a new document. So you can go to print, click on letter. We can do it the long way, just like before. Or I mean, it's a different format, but you're just gonna do Command V as in Valentine. Hold Command press V, and that'll paste your design on here. You can hold the Shift key to make it bigger or smaller, or however you want it. Okay, so you should have like the primary colors of the logos that you're gonna work on. Actually, gonna drag this over down here. And the reason why copy and pasted it onto a new document is because this is like my fault in the beginning though. But technically, you're not really supposed to just click and drag images onto Illustrator, because what happens is there are some options on your computers that will kind of mess up. For example, if I click on here, I don't have all of my swatches from the swatch panel. So Windows swatches, like I don't have any of those colors then. Yeah, I would have to pull up the library, go to default swatches, print to pull up those colors that I wanted to. Just like I showed you like before in the other video. But if you load the images up into a new document, a completely new document, it's going to show up automatically on the swatches array. So, let's just say I was going to start putting the gradients in. Like you can actually click on this black and white gradient just to get started with it. The difference now is, now I click on the, if I want to change like the colors of the gradients, I have my swatches to work with right here. Whereas if I try to do like the same thing on here, I did the gradient and I try to get my colors, swatches. My swatches won't even pop up anymore. This is actually only black and white here. So it was just a mess up or a minor mistake I made on my part with how we set up the picture. So I mean it's okay though. We can just copy and paste it and bring it over here. So with the gradient tool though, you guys have some time to play around with it a little bit, but there's two ways you can like change up your gradients. One way is you click on the gradient, you can click on here, and keep adding another gradient. So you gotta click on the panel or the little tab, and you can double click on it, and you can. I think it's a lot easier if you just click on the swatches, and this allows you just kind of like pick out colors that you want. So I can do this light brown here, and then I can do like a darker red or a different color too. And you can always change up the colors a little bit more. If you want to have it like a little bit more darker, that's up to you. Okay, now if you wanted to use like the if you want to use like the eyedropper, so eyedropper allows you to kind of like just pick out colors from like what you worked on previously before. So what I like to do is I like to use them or so you kind of have like these colors that are set up nicely like the way they are. So I'm actually gonna copy and paste this onto here and just put it to the side here. But once you have like a good choice of colors, like you want to like basically use like those same colors in your gradient. So now in order to use like the eyedropper, you would have to click on here, click on the the gradient. So if you click on this gradient here, it'll just pop up the gradient that's on there by default. But what you can do is you can actually click on the you can click on the color here, and then you can click on eyedropper. You hold the shift key while all of this is happening. So click this tab, eyedropper. Make sure your shape is selected that you want. You can click on the you hold the shift, you can click on it, it's gonna eyedrop that specific color. So now I have the same tan color that I want to use for my for that shape. Oops, looks like something very wrong with that. But yeah, let's get that tan color, and then obviously this is gonna be like the other color I'm gonna have to add to it. So now I have like this color that I can use here, and then if I want to actually use the same tan color on the bottom of the bun, I can actually click on this here, and I can actually eyedrop the same color that's up there. So that way you don't have to like reconfigure the how that part's gonna look. A lot of these you can just kind of like click on it and just like change it. So basically you're going to start to add gradients to it. So again, I'm just using this gradient again, but I'm just clicking on this tab here, clicking on the eyedrop tool, and then I'm going to hold shift and click on the that brown part. And that's going to give me the brown part for this bun. And then this part I can make darker. So actually I use this paintbrush tool, not this one here. And I'm just going to make it a little bit darker on that end. But that's generally how you're going to add the colors to the gradients. Now there's ways you can kind of like control the gradient even more. So I'm actually gonna have you guys do this during the warm up, so you'll get a little bit more comfortable with it. But you can click on the the shape of your gradient. You can click on this gradient tool here, and if you can actually like drag where the gradient's going to be. So you can drag it. You can even tilt the angle up. So you can actually have like the brighter part of the gradient here, and then you can like adjust the sliders to change up the colors. Oh, and then one other thing too is if you wanted to add more colors to the gradients, you can actually just click on the tabs, add more gradients to it. But I wouldn't add more than 3 at most. But you can do like a brighter yellow. Oops. Actually, let me use this one. You can do like a brighter yellow, and you can actually control this more. Actually, need to delete that. And then if you want to delete the gradient, you have to just drag it off of there. And it should drag off nicely. You can have like more control of how many gradients you want, the colors, and even like the direction. So if I want to like put the yellow a little bit more here, I'm actually not going to use a yellow. I'm going to use this tan color, but I'm going to just make it a little bit lighter. So you have all these different options though of changing and manipulating the colors. So you can get that color that you want or that effect. So you just have to play around with it. Or another thing you can do too is you can oh yeah, you can also change it like to really extreme colors. So if you like doing like rainbow colors, you can do that. But I don't see like why you would do that though. It really depends on your shape and design. But I'm just gonna do Command Z on that a couple of times. But yeah, another thing you do too is you can also set it to the radial as well. So linear is gonna do like one change from one color to another, just like that. Radial will give you more of like a sphere shape. So if you have anything that's like a round shape, this is probably a better one to use. So if I was gonna go with this one, it's almost similar to the shape of this bun here, but you can actually manipulate it even more using the gradient tool as well. So you can actually make this more of an oval shape. I'm actually gonna move this on the top up here. So you can really make this like picture more three-dimensional. Trying to angle it. So there's a lot of different things you can do. So this part's gonna be darker on the bottom. It's gonna be lighter on the top. The only thing is you would have to like kind of click away to see how it looks. So now this is more of like a highlight for the bum, and then the highlight for the bun, and this is gonna be more like shadows on the bottom. So if I wanted to, I could maybe add like one more here. This could be like the darkest dark of the bun. So you really can go very manipulative with the gradient. So you can use it as like a tool to draw or shade value on the computer. Well, obviously it takes more time and just careful consideration of these things. So yeah, that's all you're gonna do with the gradient. So you're just gonna click on the shape, click on the gradient. My suggestion is use the eyedropper tool. So you're gonna press you can just press the I key, and you can eyedrop the it doesn't work that way. That's really weird. So click on the shape, the gradient. Oh, I actually forgot to click on the. So you gotta make sure to click on the specific gradient slider that you want. And and then I'm just gonna pick on the yellow. Oh, yeah, it doesn't work that way. That's really weird. I think it's because I'm not holding the shift key. Oh, it's because I wasn't holding the shift key. So you just gotta make sure you hold the shift key when you click on it. And just let me know if you have any questions, if you need help with this. I can always help you guys out with these things. I'm actually gonna lower this one, and we could do like a darker, more like an orangish yellow.